Hey, I just wanted to give a quick thanks to one of our sponsors at Simple Programmer, which is Dev Mountain Bootcamp. You should go check them out. The link is in the description. They are a coding bootcamp and they can teach you web development, iOS development, UX design, a lot of good stuff. I get a lot of feedback from a lot of you out there that email me and have told me about Dev Mountain, so I decided to check them out myself. And I like what I found. I like their programs. They offer some 12-week intensive programs. They also offer some after-hours programs, which I know that some of you will like. So go check them out. You can see the link in the description below, Dev Mountain Bootcamp, and a big thank you to them for sponsoring Simple Programmer. Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here from simpleprogrammer.com. So I got a question of whether or not you should learn COBOL. I was pointed to an article that talked about US banks still using COBOL and actually training new people to learn COBOL and maintain these old legacy systems. And I frequently get asked this about if COBOL is a good niche or not, and whether you should learn it and specialize in COBOL. So I thought I'd give my opinion on this. So I read the article. There's definitely some interest there, some interesting things. I've actually worked in environments where COBOL was being used. In the old government systems, I worked at the Department of Health and Welfare where they were replacing a COBOL system in Idaho. And I think they probably still have the COBOL system in a lot of their systems. A lot of banks are using IBM mainframes that are running COBOL code. So there's a lot of COBOL code out there, and there is a lot of need to maintain that code. But here's the thing that I would say about that. The skills that you would learn, like you could definitely specialize in COBOL, but you've got two things I would say that are going to be going against you in this. One of them is that there's a lot of veterans that are very experienced in COBOL, a lot of older programmers that have been doing this for 20, 30 years, so you're going to be competing against them. Not that you can, I'm just saying that there are people that have so much experience. So when people say, oh, you can make $100 an hour doing COBOL code, yes, that's true, but there's a lot of people out there that have that experience already and are making that kind of money. Now, are COBOL programmers in demand? Yes, because there's not enough of them, right? Because there's these systems that have to be maintained. So you could still have a benefit there. But I just don't think that that's a really smart investment, right? Because you could specialize in a lot of other different technologies. And with that said, the second point that I would say here is that COBOL is sort of a dead end for a couple of reasons here. First of all, it's a dead end because those skills that you learn in developing COBOL aren't going to be very applicable to other places, right? The technology that you're using, looking at these old IBM mainframes and the way that systems were developed then and maintaining that code, it's not really going to be applicable to a lot of the newer technologies and techniques used in software development. This old code isn't going to help you that much. Probably not even going to be that much that fun and exciting. I mean, really, like maintaining some old COBOL code, yes, you could get paid perhaps some good bucks to do that, but to me, it doesn't seem like a very good career plan. Now, if you're already an old COBOL programmer, right, sure, then that's one thing, but a lot of programmers, I talked to a lot of COBOL programmers that were getting laid off from jobs or the job where we were replacing a COBOL system, and they didn't really have a lot of other marketable skills. So yeah, there were other places they could go to use their COBOL skills, but what if they didn't want to move? What if they didn't want to move out of that small city where they were working on COBOL with that bank? They didn't have a lot of other places to go. They didn't know Java. If you know, for example, Java, you could get a job doing C# or C++ or probably another similar language. But if you just know COBOL and you've just been doing mainframe programming and that's your specialty, you're going to have a very difficult time retraining those skills and getting another job, right? You're going to have to find another COBOL place. And if you're not willing to move around the country because it's not as prevalent as the other programming languages, you might have some trouble. So the other thing I would say too is that, like, how long can this last? I know that the COBOL systems have been around for a long time, but are they really going to be around for the next 20 or 30 years? Is it going to decrease a lot? I'm expecting that a lot of banks will eventually be replacing these systems as they're getting older. I know that that's been said before and they're still around, but really, how long can you do that? How long can you expect that that's going to be around? It just doesn't seem like a great place to to really put your future, today. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But, if you're a COBOL programmer and you're making good money doing COBOL, that's fine. That's cool. Have my hats off to you. That's great. I know some people have to maintain those systems. I'd rather see those old banking systems get replaced by new systems, but, I'm pragmatic as well, and I know that that's an expensive undertaking, and if it works, then, why fix something that's already working? Although I would argue in many cases, a lot of those old banking systems are not working. They're just barely scraping by, because I've worked on some of those systems and I know how bad, how slow, how many resources they require, and that if they were rewritten today, they could be rewritten for basically the maintenance cost of 1 year worth of maintenance costs on some of those systems. At least that's my experience, right? So anyway, there you go. That's my opinion on should you learn COBOL. I would give it a big thumbs down. No, don't. If you're already a COBOL programmer, fine. It's great. You're going to have lots of opportunities, but investing in learning COBOL today does not seem like a very good idea to me. It seems like one that has high risks, doesn't have a lot of career potential for you, and you're going to be competing with a lot of people with a lot of COBOL experience. All right. If you like this video, click that subscribe button below if you haven't already, and you can get all the videos I do. I do about 2 to 3 a day here on the Simple Programmer channel. I will talk to you next time. Take care.